watching AYV Television.
Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone. Welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV Television and also on radio, FM 101.7. My name is Bokari Matia.
And I am Alimati Judge. Whether you're watching or listening to us from the provinces or in the capital city on Channel 33 or on DSTV Channel 399 from across Africa, you're most welcome.
You can also watch us online from around the world on this joyous day, the 11th day of July 2026.
We're broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of the city. Send us your comments through our socials on the AYV News Facebook page and the stories that we cover this morning.
And talking of the stories we're covering here this morning, coming up, Center for Accountability and Rule of Law, Sierra Leone, CARL, calls on President Bio to take urgent steps to safeguard workers' retirement savings following a disclosure by the Minister of Employment, Labour, Rado Raman-Soare, that NACIT investments are not doing well.
And AYV Hits the Streets will be holding auditions on 24th July 2026 to discover talented dancers who will compete for the ultimate grand prize of 50,000 leones. We will discuss the build-up to the auditions.
And of course, Parliament yesterday has ratified the amendment agreement to the power purchase agreement relating to the 120 mega power plant Bikango Hydroelectric Power Project. Our parliamentary reporter Samuel Tony Sawyer will report in details as to the outcome from Parliament.
But before all that, let's get a quick message from our sponsors, Wakeup Commercial Bank and other advertisers. And we shall be right back with you. Please stay with us.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
So I go see some business partners.
You didn't give me memory, Michael. Can if I kiss a young, you remember this camp people in not to Indy. Today you pay me money. I don't send it for let you help me send money in Ghana. 2 weeks now you not send me money and 10 you not give me back me money. Today, give me money.
You know ever sabi goodness in life. I send back your money, but trust me, today na the very last day I ever send money for now.
I don't need your help because I don't know so with Afri money. I dey able send money. Now Baku Africa countries them with Afri money. We dey able send money to over 10 African countries, whether it's Ghana, Gambia, Liberia, or Kenya. If me party we know this, we not follow the party grammar right now.
Okay, una go regret. I mean now una go regret.
The best part right now, Michael, with Afri money, you dey able send money even if you not use app, even if you not the online directly. All you need for do, you just a dial *161#. Pam, your money don't go. So I don't need the help again. Thief man.
Thank you.
Send money to over 10 African countries instantly with AfriMoney. No stress, no excuses. Just dial *161 *1 *6# now. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
See your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this milk I always they choose Sarah juice because the milk come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, it healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, na the taste of Salone.
Welcome back. A quick reminder, this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio here in Freetown. Now, Parliament yesterday has ratified the amendment agreement to the power purchase agreement relating to the 120 megapower watt Bikongo hydroelectric power project. However, before passage, MPs, including the opposition leader, raised a red flag about the content of the agreement, pointing that it has 4 out of 9 schedules missing, change of name of investors, broader investor protection, unexplained waivers and high tariffs. Banking on these concerns, opposition leader Honorable Abdul Kabir raised the motion for it to be put on hold for proper scrutiny. In a split second, the said MP, after a closed-door meeting in the Speaker's chambers, revoked the motion, allowing proceedings to flow without addressing the queries made. Samuel Tony Sawyer was there and now reports.
It's another sitting in Parliament. The Speaker takes his seat, members settle in the chambers, and proceedings begin with a matter many hope could reshape Sierra Leone's energy future. The Minister of Energy, Arnold tables amendment to the power purchase agreement for the Bikongo hydroelectricity project. Government says increasing the project's capacity from 120 to 150 megawatts will strengthen electricity supply and support economic growth.
We are a power deficient country, and we've been a power deficient country for a long time. And one of the renewable and reliable forms of energy that we have in the world, not only in Sierra Leone, is hydropower, where we use the power of water to generate electricity.
Government MPs throw their support behind the agreement, arguing that expanding electricity generation is essential for industrialization and improving livelihoods.
Currently, we have an energy capacity of 157.12 megawatts. But what actually we would need, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we are not there, but we will be there.
For the whole Kaidan district, my chiefdom, Jalon chiefdom, is the biggest chiefdom. And Mr. Minister, we don't have any lights. My people are in complete darkness.
But from the opposition bench comes a different view. MPs question missing schedules in the agreement, changes to the identity of investors, and provision they believe require close legal scrutiny before approval.
Some work needs to be done on this tariff. This is the tariff paid by EPSA, not consumers, Mr. Speaker. That's the distinction we must understand.
Ensured by the way the Schedule 9, in this document we only have up to 5 schedules, Mr. Speaker, on members. So Schedule 6 is missing, Schedule 7 is missing, Schedule 8 is missing, and Schedule 9 is missing. So it's important for us to note that all of those schedules that are missing here, there are details that should be brought in front of this House so that we can know what is detailed.
Minority Leader Honorable Abdul Kabo raises further concerns, arguing that Parliament should not ratify an agreement with outstanding questions. He moves that it be committed for detailed examination.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as members of Parliament, we should know why was it considered necessary to amend the original 2023 implementation agreement. I noticed that the project developers decided in this amendment to change their name. Why was the name changed? These are explanations we should ask for. This is a parliament. We should ensure that we protect with the integrity of this country, we protect the integrity of our nation. So on that note, I want to move a motion that this agreement is withheld until we have the complete schedule presented to this House.
Majority Leader Honorable Matthew Numa rejects the proposal, insisting the agreement has undergone due diligence.
For the good of the public, under the Bikongo 3 hydroelectric power, Wakeup and Minerals Limited, they have their address, and this company is formerly known as the Mukoko Resources Limited. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we said the agreement I've had for my colleagues just for the sake of clarification. That this agreement is not 28 years, but it's 25 years.
Prompting Speaker Sengepo Solomon Thomas to invite parliamentary leaders into his chambers for consultations.
All leaders, hold on to my chambers.
When proceedings resume, the atmosphere has changed. In a surprise development, the minority leader withdraws his motion, allowing Parliament to proceed with ratification.
We are also very, very detailed in what we do.
Yes.
We read everything, and the minister personally took time to explain.
Yes.
I want to commend him for that. But he has answered, and one thing Speaker has clearly said is that once this agreement passes, this Parliament should ensure we begin to monitor it from day one. Yes. So for that, I will go and allow us to
Thank you very much.
The agreement is approved, but questions raised during the debate remain part of public records. Attention now shifts from Parliament to implementation. More than 3 years after the original agreement was ratified, construction is yet to commence. In a separate development, Parliament also swore in Honourable Aissata Phillips, who succeeds the late Honourable Lucinda Finda Kelly. Welcoming the new Member of Parliament, the Speaker urged her to discharge her responsibilities with commitment and integrity.
Speaker and this Honourable House, congratulations. Mr. Speaker.
For many Sierra Leoneans, the success of the Big Congo project will not be judged by parliamentary procedure, but by whether it delivers reliable electricity to homes, schools, and businesses across the country. Samuel Tony Sawyer, AYV News, Freetown.
Many thanks to you, Tony Sawyer. Well, now we return to our main studio in our first conversation. The Center for Accountability and Rule of Law Sierra Leone, CAL Sierra Leone, has called on President Bio to take urgent steps to safeguard workers' retirement savings, following a disclosure by the Minister of Employment and Labour and Social Security, Honorable Mohamed Oman Sware, that NACIT investments are not doing well.
CAL is demanding an independent audit of the pension fund's investment portfolio and stronger accountability measures to protect contributors' funds. To discuss contributors' fund. Well, to discuss the issue this morning, we've been joined in the studios by Jeremy Ben Simbo, Acting Executive Director, CAL. Good morning, Jeremy, and welcome to AYV.
Good morning. I'm pleased to be here.
Let's start off. Why is CAL calling for an independent audit? What specific evidence convinced you that, you know, this is the right step or this step is necessary, or are you just going by the words of the minister?
Well, the evidence is clear. The evidence is very clear. The words of the minister is very clear, you know, to the fact that the president of this country is really supposed to intervene to ensure that workers' retirement benefits at NACIT are being protected. Because if the minister who supervises the operations of NACIT by virtue of his work now, you know, spoke clearly on Truth Radio that the investments of NACIT are not doing well and that they could do more, and that they have held several meetings with the presidency, the vice president, the chief minister, the board of NACIT, and the management of NACIT, and that government has decided to kind of turn around those investments. That's a very serious concern. Let me land, please. And beyond that, we have been receiving several complaints from the public with respect to, you know, the operations of NACIT, particularly those whose benefits are either delayed or are not fully paid or are yet to be paid. So for us as an institution, that's so serious, because that's just one of the reasons for which we exist as an institution. Don't forget, I'm also a contributor to NACIT. We have other colleagues as well. I'm sure you are. And my sister here is also another contributor to NACIT. And NACIT is not just like any other state institution in this country. Which is not to speak that I don't have, which is not to state that I have no respect for the other institutions. No. But they are a huge custodian of workers' money, benefits that is shared with them. And they have the responsibility at least to manage those, to collect those monies from workers, manage them well, and to also pay those benefits and pensions on time. So if those ones are not done, and to again invest the monies that we give them, if they are not doing those ones well, I think for us it's a serious concern. So that's why we're calling on the president to at least intervene now to ensure that workers' benefits at NACIT are protected.
When the minister says not doing well, does that automatically mean that workers' pension are at risk, or is he just referring to the market struggling at the moment?
No. Well, if I may interpret what I understood from what the minister stated, you know, the minister said the investments of NACIT are not doing well. And we have also gone beyond that to at least look at some of those investments.
And the people are the contributors to those.
So the contributors. I remember the monies that we pay to NACIT, those are the monies they use to, to do those investments. So at the end of the day, they will be in place to adequately pay our benefits in time and to pay them with interest, for example. So if those monies are not properly invested, then it's a war institution altogether. You see, so it's a war institution.
If investment is currently the problem and you are calling on the president, where does he come in? What does he need to do in order to secure the investments of people who are contributing to NACIT?
To at least come in to protect our money.
How?
So yes, to protect our money. Now, the minister did say that they've had several meetings with the presidency, including the vice president, the chief minister, the board of trustees of NACIT, and even management of NACIT. You understand? And that they have plans to turn them around. Turn those investments around. So for us, we are not calling on the president that this is not the time to talk, but this is time to act. So we want to see the actions of the president, that those investments they have been turned around so that they could be done in the very best interest of the people. Because that's a part of the reason for which NACIT was established.
Isn't this something the audit service should have captured for people to understand that people's money are at risk because of the investment NACIT is doing? Why are we just hearing it from the minister and not from audit services who are responsible to audit NACIT or from NACIT itself?
When you go back to the audit reports, you find some of those things in the audit report. You understand? Take time, go back to the report, the audit report for last year. You find some of those things in the audit report. But remember, the responsibility of the minister is to supervise the operations of NACIT. And he now comes out to say, hey, the investments that are done by NACIT are not doing well, and that we could do more, if I could quote him in his own very words. And that we've had several meetings with the president in attendance, including the vice president, the chief minister, including the board of trustees of NACIT, and the management of NACIT, and that they need to do more so that they could turn those ones around. So it's a serious concern. So now if you, for example, you look at some of the investments that are being done by NACIT, let's just go through them quickly. Let's say, for example, we have the Sarah Aka poultry project at Sumwea. That's not doing well at all. It is definitely not doing well. We also look at the SCPL block making project, Angola Town. We look at the Regimental Gray Estate at Godrich, Kimbima Hotel, the Bow Plaza, and the land banks that they have, for example, in Bo or some other places. Those are investments that are being done by NACIT, and they are not doing well by any means.
Did you do an independent investigation yourself as an organization?
Yes, we have. Yes, we visited those places. We looked at those places. In fact, beyond this now, our next step is to conduct a study. We're now going to do a study so that we now come up with the figures. Let's say, for example, how much was spent on the Bow Plaza. The Bow Plaza. The Bow Plaza, according to what I understand, that plaza was meant to have had a terminal. And that has not been done since then. It has now become a dustbin kind of. So for us, those are serious concerns. I remember, I still continue to remind you that I am a contributor to NACIT. Some others are. Some people even complain to us. Before now, they have made several complaints. And with this now, I have received endless calls. This has now required me, or it's going to require me now, for example, Carl, when I say Miss Carl, to establish a desk at our offices, so that complaints coming from the public with respect to NACIT's payment of benefits and pensions will be dealt with.
NACIT manages contributions from 1,000 of Sierra Leonean citizens. So if investment performance continues to decline, what are the long-term implications for pension payments?
If those investments are not properly done in the very best interest of Sierra Leoneans, it will come a time NACIT will find it difficult to even pay benefits to retirees. It will definitely come a time. And I say this, if 500,000 of us are to retire today, at my age, my work age now, I'm saying I'm going to retire today, 500,000 of us now go to NACIT, demanding them to pay our benefits. They will definitely struggle to pay those benefits because the investment that they are doing they are not done well. Yes, the argument that they continue to advance is that yes, those investments were not done during the tenure of this current administration. That's fine. They have the responsibility to overturn them. And again, the question is, what have they done, this current administration? What have they done? Yes, I was told yesterday by the PRO that yes, there was a moratorium on them when they came in 2018, and that moratorium got lifted in 2019. But what investment have they done? Because NACIT, they have the responsibility to invest the monies I will give to them, so that when those monies they are paid in time and they are paid with interest. So this is so worrying. So that's why we're calling on no less a person but the president. Remember, the minister did say that they've had several meetings with the president in attendance, the vice president, the chief minister, the board of NASIT, and the NASIT management.
Well, it is obvious that many pension funds do struggle globally sometimes. They do have poisons due to market conditions. Why don't you think that's the case with NASIT at the moment, and this is just temporal and they will, everything will fall in place again?
I don't think this is temporal. This is so serious, my dear. If the president was in attendance.
What should we be more concerned about? What should citizens be more concerned about?
The money that they pay to NASIT. So at the end of the day, they go back to NASIT. When they are retired, they go and collect their benefits safely.
Which one of these investments should we be more concerned about? That's what
all of the investments being done by NASIT.
So what evidences do you have that they're so bad?
So let's say, for example, the Bo Plaza is not doing well. The Bo Plaza was supposed to have had, that plaza was supposed to have had a terminal. There is no terminal at the Bo Plaza. Part of that estate is now a dustbin. You can go there and find out.
Is it not making profits at all?
Not, no, in fact, there is no terminal at the plaza. No terminal. I mean, no terminal. And the part of that agreement was that the plaza was meant to have had a terminal. And there is no terminal. You understand? So that's serious. Go to Kimbima Hotel. They invested in Kimbima Hotel. And that hotel is not functioning as we speak. It's not. And these are monies being paid by workers. With the impression that when you retire tomorrow, you go to NASIT and your benefits are paid in time or on time. So you see, somebody told me the other day, yesterday we were on Radio Democracy, we are told, several people who sent messages on that program.
Has your organization approached the NASIT executive team formally to express your concern and probably seek for clarity in some of these issues?
At this stage, no. Because the minister who supervises the operation of NASIT now says the investments of NASIT are not doing well, and that they've had several meetings, including the president in attendance, the vice president in attendance, the chief minister in attendance. Not one meeting, but several meetings. And he did say that the investments of NASIT are not doing well. But that's so serious. I think there's nothing more that could better explain
so
that. I want to use this moment to say very many thanks to Minister Radu, for being so honest to the public country, and to also to the president for at least accepting to overturn those investments that are not doing well at NASIT. So for us as Sierra Leoneans, so let's say for example as Carl, this is so serious that we have decided to blow the whistle.
So blowing the whistle, have you reached out to the president formally?
We have, yes, that's why we are doing our press statement.
And has he responded?
No, not yet. We have not received any response from them.
So how do you intend for the president to come in and salvage the situation? What do you think he can do realistically that can change the situation?
First, he needs to understand that he's the first gentleman of this country, and that he has the constitutional responsibility to protect the lives and properties of the people of Sierra Leone. And that with the meetings that he has held with NASIT, nothing seems to have really come out of those meetings very well in the interest of these people, or the people of this country. So that's why we are now saying that, one, they should conduct an independent audit. We want the presidency to at least establish an independent committee to conduct an audit with respect to the investments of NASIT. That's one thing that we are calling on the presidency to do, because it's so serious. Because come to think about it, before this scheme is so very good. Very many thanks to the late President Ahmad Yankaba, blessed memory. He brought in this scheme to Sierra Leone. It's a very good scheme. I'm not here to say NASIT is not doing well or NASIT is not performing. No. And this is also not a wish one by any means. I'm not doing this to gain favor or to correct favor from anyone. I'm not doing this to get any returns, personal returns. No. That's not why I'm doing this. I am not doing this for people to lose their jobs. No, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because, one, I'm a Sierra Leonean. Two, I'm also a contributor. And three, because of the things that I see going around with respect to the investments of NASIT. So that when people retire tomorrow, they go back to NASIT proudly and receive their benefits. You understand? Not to continue working until they die without receiving those benefits. It becomes heart-rending. If you go out now and talk to people, they'll tell you that, hey, it has taken 4 years since I got retired. I have visited NASIT over and over again. My benefits have not been paid. Some will say they have been paid my benefits in piecemeal. And that should not be the case. So if they are doing those investments at least to ensure that they protect our monies, and when it comes for them to pay the benefit, they don't pay in time or they pay in piecemeal, it should be a serious concern to every one of us. Not to SLPP, not to APC or NGC or whichever political party, but to every Sierra Leonean worker and their dependents.
If President Bio should listen to you and decides that he's going to order for an independent audit to be done as you're requesting or recommending, who would you trust to conduct this audit to ensure credibility in the process?
Well, I'm not here to name anybody, not to dictate to the presidency who and who to. Yeah, but for me, we have very good people in this country. So many good people we have in this country. Though we have the bad ones, but we also have very good people that I trust in this country. Yes, and I'm sure the president knows them. You understand? So let him go out for them. You understand? Based on the advice that he may have from whosoever that will advise him on this matter. You understand? So that they conduct an independent audit with respect to the investments that have been made by NASIT.
So on your own, you did say you've done your investigations, and of course, I'm sure you must have made some discoveries. What are some of these discoveries that you made?
One is the investments are not doing well.
How
For
so?
example, the land bank that they have in Bo, they have a huge, hectares of land in Bo, that way. People have encroached largely on the land bank in Bo. Some people have constructed houses. Those houses are even completed. People are now residing in those houses. Imagine land banks being bought by NASIT out of the savings, out of the monies that we contribute to them. It's a serious concern. It's a very serious concern. The other thing is, for example, the Bo Plaza. I keep reminding you about the Bo Plaza. The Kimbima Hotel, that's not functioning anymore. It is not.
There also used to be a NASIT ferry also. Is this still
one of the
functioning?
ferries going into Lunge?
Thank you very much.
And back.
You understand? So I don't know whether that is up and running at the moment or not.
So
those are some of the things now our study will be looking at.
What I've not gotten yet is whether or not they're actually running into losses with these investments.
Sure.
Are we concerned about the loan schemes? Are we concerned about their real estate investments? What is because you keep saying they're not doing well, but have they run into so much losses that it would affect?
Those investments are done by NASIT to at least provide turnovers.
Profits,
yes. Profits.
Yeah.
So if they are not providing any profit, means they are not being managed well. You understand? Because we contribute our monies to NASIT. At the end of the day, when you are retired, you go to NASIT with the impression that you receive your money and some interest. So if you don't receive those ones in time, and you don't receive the interest in time as well, based on the poor investment that they are doing, so it will affect you. You see, I keep reminding you, if the Kimbima Hotel investment is dead, what would you think about the money that they put into that investment? If the Bo Plaza project, which was supposed to have had a terminal, has no terminal, what will come to your own? What do you think about that? If the Regiment Gray place is not working, the block factory that they used to have, all of those ones are not
So who's
functioning.
responsible for all of this mishap?
The NASIT people are responsible. They are responsible.
Who's responsible in NASIT?
The NASIT people are responsible. The people of NASIT are responsible. They are responsible. No other possible people of NASIT are responsible because they are managing our money. Don't just look at NASIT as an ordinary institution. NASIT is a huge custodian of billions of workers' money in this country. So it's not just an ordinary institution. It's a very serious institution. The investment that they do at NASIT should be treated with seriousness because they are investing those monies on our behalf. So at the end of the day, when you are retired, you go to NASIT, you collect your monies, including your interest, and leave. But those monies are paid in time. They have not paid those monies to a certain group of persons for over 4 years, over 20 years. Somebody called yesterday, somebody sent a message yesterday that he lost his mother. The mother worked for a period of time. After her retirement, she went to NASIT for God knows how long, and her benefits was never paid until her death. So you have many kinds of those people that are currently on those kinds of circumstances.
Why is the case different for ordinary Sierra Leoneans who've worked over the years, and then people who worked in high positions like judges, ministers who've retired, and then they've had their pensions, and then people who work like teachers or military personnel or police personnel struggle to even have their pension?
But this is not just pension. Let's look at the benefits, because the benefits is so important for me than the pension. The pension is not much. Sometimes let's ask, how much do NASIT pay? How much do they pay for pension or as pension? Minimal cost. Now, but the benefit is what you contribute, you expect to be given to you, including your interest. that they make out of the investments that they do. You see, so this is the more reason why we are now calling on the presidency to intervene, to act now. So it becomes a serious, it should now be a concern for each and every Sierra Leonean worker. Whether you're a judge, you are a member of parliament, you are a minister, you're a teacher, you are a health worker, you are a journalist, or you are whoever, you are a civil society actor, this should be your concern. Keep this out of politics. This one has nothing to do with party politics. Of course, you know I don't belong to any political party. I'm not a politician. We are doing this in the interest of workers of this country, including my very self seated here.
What is Carl concerned about presently within NACIT itself as an institution? Is it mismanagement? Is it poor investment decisions, or possibly corruption or racketeering going on in NACIT?
It could be any one of those. But at this stage, I don't really want to take. I don't want to take position on any one of those. I've earlier stated that we now intend doing a study. So our study now, we look at all of those things that you've highlighted. So once we conduct our study across the country with respect to the management structure of NACIT, the investment that they're doing, short-term, long-term investment, the benefits that they pay, who have they paid, to how many people they have on their list with respect to the pensions and benefits they pay over time. So the study report will now speak to all of those ones, including the amount of money that they spend, the monies they spent in those investments as well. So that report will now speak to that.
On the structured democratic processes, one would assume that an issue like this should have been captured by Parliament by now. In fact, when the minister made that statement, Parliament should be up and debating that statement and be concerned. Do you hope that, are you hopeful that Parliament will take that up, or are you going to take it up with Parliament?
We're going to take it up with Parliament.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why was Parliament not the first point of call? Why go to the president?
No, because of the statement that was made by the minister that they've had several meetings to try to turn this around, where at some of those meetings or all of those meetings, I don't know clearly, but the president was in attendance. So that's where we are now, because he's fully aware of what is going on at NACIT based on the minister's remarks. So now, after I'm sure the president is a listening president. I'm sure he must be following all of what is going around with respect to this matter throughout this week. I'm very aware of that. I'm sure he must have been briefed by even the minister or officials, senior officials at NACIT. That's fine. So at this stage, maybe, for example, the president will say, okay, I leave this to Parliament. Parliament, you will now come in and do X, Y, and Z. But we are calling for an accountability mechanism, kind of strategy here in this scope. So that's why we are saying that the president should set up a committee, an independent committee, to audit the operations or the investments made by NACIT.
Yes.
Don't you think contributors, based on what's going on now, all these shocking revelations, don't you think they should have greater access to investment reports going forward?
Well, yes, of course, yes. So if we conduct the study, I'm sure those ones will come out. They will now be part of the study that we intend conducting. We now ask for the reports. How were those decisions arrived at? Why is it that they decided to invest in Regiment Grey? What's the status? How much money was spent in that investment? Yes, you talk about the Sierra Ground Market, for example. How much money was spent there? Why is it that people are not using the Sierra Ground Market? What's the problem? What's the issue? Why is it that the land banks in Bo are being encroached on? Why is it that you're not taking so kind of serious actions to retrieve those lands? So what have you done to retrieve those lands?
That's what I wanted to ask. When you look at the investments of NACIT, there seems to be a pattern. And as you rightly said, this is not a political discussion.
No,
because if you look at previous governments and now, it seems to be a pattern of NACIT as an institution itself. Let's take, for example, the land banks you're talking about. There are also land banks within the Western area here. If you go along the Tombo end, there's a land bank there. There are few buildings. A couple, probably 5 or 10. They say NACIT hosts than this. And then you see the project stops without continuation. You go to Bo again, the same instance. In fact, people are now encroaching on the lands that NACIT has. You would have to go through legal processes again for that. Why in the first place would NACIT allow the investment, be encroached on, or projects that they've started not completed? Is it that NACIT is just collecting and hoping that we'll give these people pittance when they come at the end of the day?
I think that question could best be answered by NACIT, honestly, because if you want to undertake an investment, you must have done some assessments. You do some kinds of needs assessment. You look at really what the people may be interested in. So if you just go ahead because you think you have money there somewhere and you want to invest the money, not in the very best interest of the people, it's a serious issue. So that's why we have blown the whistle. That's the reason why we are calling on no less a person but the president himself to at least establish an independent committee to audit, you understand, the investments and operations of NASIT. So at the end of the day, we also looking forward to seeing that report. You see, so that's what we are suggesting here. That's why we are calling on the president, because this is so serious. It's so serious to the point that it has become a discussion that is now on the lips of every Sierra Leonean, especially the workers of this country. You see, and come to think about the struggle, some people go to NASIT when they go there to receive their benefits. People go there for God knows how long without receiving the benefits sometimes, and sometimes they receive those benefits in piecemeal. So if you struggle to receive your benefits, the contribution that you made while it's working, why do you think about the interest that you're supposed to have as a result of that contribution that you make? So this is a serious issue. This issue must have nothing to do with party politics. I really encourage people to keep party politics away from this. It must have nothing to do with Carl versus NASIT or Jeremy versus NASIT. That's how some people want to take it now. This one should have nothing to do with that. But let's look at it, as patriots and as also contributors to NASIT. You are a contributor to NASIT. I am one. You understand? So if NASIT is now doing this one, is behaving in this manner to some other contributors, they have the propensity to behave like that to me as well.
Carl has always been an institution to come out with proof, evidence, and data. Yeah. You've mentioned some of these projects that you think are not doing well, or
I've got stalled.
Yeah, yes. Is Carl going to take an independent observation of those investments and bring out a comprehensive paper, so that not only calling on President's attention, but calling on his attention with proof that, because the minister has made this statement, we've done our findings, and we think the minister's statement correlates with our findings, and so this is a concern.
The president is definitely aware of all of what is going on, the things that we've highlighted here. But think about it. These things, were stated or mentioned by the minister himself, and they've had several engagements, several meetings with the president in attendance. So it means he's aware of these ones. So we, on behalf of the citizens of this country, we're not joining the minister to at least call on the president to do or to establish a committee to at least conduct an independent audit with respect to the investments and the general operations of NASIT. So that's what we are saying. But over and above that, we also intend doing our own study for the purposes of the Sierra Leonean public. So now we now come out, as part of the report of the result of the study that we'll be conducting, we now come out to the figures. Let's say, for example, blah, blah, blah figure or amount of money was spent on the Bow Plaza. Or this is how that project was supposed to have been established or done. But this is with the current state of that project from this year to that year. So that's why the study will be proving out to Sierra Leoneans.
Mr. Sebo, I'm not holding brief for NASIT, but wouldn't NASIT have some amount of pushback to say some of these projects we've undertaken, they've stalled because of political interference? Say, for example, the Sewa Grams. We've had a whole controversy around. We've seen the launch, but yet still it is not being occupied. For an investor like NASIT to put money into that facility, and then it is now finished, it has been launched by the president, but still yet you have no one occupying it, wouldn't that be a concern for NASIT to say, listen, we've invested projects like these, and then we are not seeing our returns because someone who is responsible to ensure people occupy them is not doing their job?
So I don't know who will suffer the consequence of such an action? The contributors, the people. They used our money to do that investment. So if it's not working as earlier on thought, then it's now a problem for us. You understand? So it is. You see, so that's why we are calling on the president to at least act now, as the minister stated in his conversation, that they have had several meetings with NASIT, with the president in attendance, trying to turn this around. So for us, it's a step in the right direction. So we are not calling on the president to act on this.
Jeremy, NASIT has invested heavily in hotels, commercial real estate, and other strategic assets over the years. Looking back, first and foremost, let me ask, who approves these investments?
NASIT, they have a board. The board of trustees, they have the whole ministry supervising their operations. They have their own standards. I don't really want to speak for them. They must have their own standards, how they come to identify projects, who approves those projects, how they carry out, whatever.
So you're not aware whether or not Parliament comes in
to approve those projects?
Yes.
No, Parliament will always come in when there are issues, for example, or where there are doubts. Parliament maybe will decide to call on them to at least make some clarifications or to clearly guide the process where there are doubts.
Because it is my understanding that before ever any of these investments are approved, people from NACIT would have done their homework, write out their proposals, their projections on what it would be like, what they intend to make out of it, and the like. So do you believe that some of these investments should never have been approved?
Well, I don't think so really, because for example, if they want to have a land bank with the understanding that, or they believe that they will be constructing houses for Sierra Leonean workers or retirees, that's a very good investment. But the question here is, are they properly monitoring those investments? Or are they being done according to the intended intention? So that's one of that's also another serious thing to look at as well. You see, so the investments, yes, they might be good. Kimbima, yes. The block factory, yes. The land banking board, yes. The plaza, yes. But as we speak, the plaza is not done. It is not, because they are supposed to have been a terminal at the plaza, but we have no terminal, and the place has now become a dustbin.
Who should ultimately be held accountable when pension investments underperform?
NACIT. Because
the board?
NACIT. The board and trust of NACIT and the management of NACIT.
What about the supervising ministry?
Yeah, of course, yes, they should be. Including supervising ministry. So that's why I keep thanking the minister for his honest commission that the investments of NACIT are not doing well to the best of his knowledge. And he's as a supervisor of that sector. So it's a serious concern. And I've had several meetings with the president in attendance.
We've mentioned parliamentary oversight severally in our discourse this morning. Would your organization, Carcelian, support amendments to strengthen parliamentary oversight over NACIT's major investments decisions?
Yeah, that could just, could be one of the things I would intend recommending once the study is done in this regard. So we recommend, for example, to review the Act, and that's the Act itself. There must have been some lacunas in the Act. And we speak to the role of Parliament. When will Parliament come in? You asked the question earlier on that where is Parliament in all of this? Who approves the investments of NACIT? Is it just NACIT management that will just come together? They say, oh no, because we have the money, let's do X, Y, Z. So when that study is done, they will definitely recommend and advise.
I don't know if you have data to support your assertions this morning, but I'd want to ask exactly what percentage of NACIT's investment portfolio is currently underperforming?
No, at this stage, I don't have data to that effect.
Okay.
At this stage, no. But if you listen, did you listen to the statement that was made by the minister on Truth Radio?
Not completely.
Okay, I advise you to listen to that completely. So if you really go through that complete incompletion, then you come to realize that your money that is at NACIT, or the investments that have been made by NACIT, we are not properly done by any means.
Is this a governance problem or simply an investment performance issue? I'm asking this because the chairman is appointed by the president, supervised by the minister. If the minister is coming out to say, listen, NACIT is not doing well, and there's a concern, and several meetings, according to the minister, were held with both the presidency, the vice president, the chief minister, which means they should be or are known that there are concerns at NACIT, and the president appoints the chairman of NACIT. Are we looking at a problem wherein someone who is not competent has been appointed? Because this issue is now coming up from the minister, which means we can go back and say for the past 3 and 4 years, there have been concerns, and now the minister is raising them. Is this a leadership problem from the president by the appointment of the person that heads NACIT right now?
So that's the more reason why we are calling on the president to act now in order to protect or to the savings being made by workers of this country. That's why we are calling on him to act now. You understand? Because also again, if you look at this statement that we published earlier this week, concerns and complaints also do keep coming from some members of the public. That sometimes even when they go to NACIT, the reception that they get from the NACIT officials themselves, some of the NACIT officials are not good by any means, are not friendly. You understand? So because of that, we're also thinking, how are people recruited at NACIT? How are they recruited at NACIT? How are people recruited at NACIT? How are they promoted? How are they deployed? You understand? At NACIT. You see? So those are all the issues that now we will be looking at as part of our study that we intend doing. Because we really want to know how people are recruited at NACIT, how are they promoted, how are they deployed as well. We want to know the staff, the staff strength at NACIT. So those are the things we'll be looking at. Not just payment to beneficiaries or pensioners, no. But we want to look at NACIT in entirety. The decision whether the whatever at NACIT is okay or not, that one rests squarely with the presidency, because he appoints and fires. You understand? And I say, as I stated earlier on, this is not, we are not doing this for people to lose their jobs. That's not the reason why we are doing this. We are doing this because we want people's monies to be, the contributions at NACIT to be protected.
Can Sierra Leoneans still trust NACIT to protect their retirement investments and savings?
Yeah, they need to trust NACIT, yes, to protect their retirement and savings. They should, yes, they should. Because yesterday we are promised faithfully by NACIT, the NACIT official, with whom I was in the studio at 98.1. He made that emphatically clear. Yes, yes.
Even with the concerns now, should we still, have confidence in NACIT?
We should have confidence in NACIT, because NACIT is a very good game. We definitely need to have confidence in NACIT. They must have had their challenges, respect to investments and whatever. But that is not clear to say, no, we don't need to have confidence in them. So that's why we are calling on the president now to act on this, to take a decisive decision with respect to this one.
Jamie, do you have realistic timelines for these amendments or the remedy you're seeking? Do you have realistic timelines for them?
Yes, at least we're going to look at that until the end of this month. Then thereafter, we decide to do our own independent study.
If you're so confident, I assume you're already in talks with the president or the authorities concerned.
No, we are not in talk with the president, neither the president nor the authorities at NACIT. We are not in talk with anyone.
So how certain are you that the president is going to, how do you intend, I don't know if I've asked this question earlier, but if you're not in talks with the president and you're not in talks with any of the authorities concerned as we speak, because earlier on I asked whether or not you've approached NACIT for clarifications in some of these matters, and you said no. So how do you intend to actualize these recommendations and address these concerns?
Going further, I have earlier stated that we intend doing a study. Before that, let me learn. Before that, we'll be doing a letter to the management of NACIT. We're also doing a letter to the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
That's all in the pipeline?
Yes. So we'll be doing that, informing them about our intention, the thing that we intend doing, the study that we intend doing, you understand? And also to ensure their compliance, because we'll be talking to them. So, with the various issues that we'll be looking at, we expect NACIT to cooperate with us, that they provide us the data and the requisite information. This is why at this stage, we are not in talk with them. We have just blown the whistle. Primarily based on the reports that we've had over time, coming from the public, coming from contributors, and the one that came clearly from the minister himself, that the investments of NACIT are really not doing well, and that they have had several meetings with the president in attendance, the vice president, the chief minister. Underline that one. Several meetings with the minister, the president, the vice president, the chief minister, and the board and management of NACIT. So that's so serious. So if at this stage we are still not seeing much coming out of those meetings with respect to those investments, then it's a serious call.
Amidst all of these revelations and people waking up to this rude shock that NACIT investments are not doing well, we still continue to see NACIT signing new investment partnerships, which are, according to them, aimed at diversifying its portfolio. We've seen them signing partnerships, for infrastructure and tourism projects. How can contributors now trust that NACIT getting into new investment projects will not only expose the savings to greater risks?
So with the intervention of the time intervention of the president, I'm sure, yes, there will be hope. At this stage, if the president comes in now, establish an independent committee to conduct an audit with respect to the operations of NACIT, look at the investments, look at the potential investments, Are they sustainable? Will they be short-term or long-term investments? Will those investments be done in the very best interest of Sierra Leoneans or contributors? So you see, so if those ones are done very well, yes, we are not here to state that no, NASI will not, they cannot undertake any more investment. No, that's not what we are saying. But at least let them undertake investments that will be done in the very best interest of the people of this country, particularly the workers.
What will be the worst case scenario if nothing is done timely?
I don't preempt that. I really want to believe something is going to come out of this. I trust that.
And what will be the best case scenario if the president actually intervenes and goes by some of your recommendations?
I really hope that the president will intervene. And we
I'm asking, with his intervention, what do you hope to achieve?
To at least establish an independent audit, a committee that will audit operations of NASIT. They publish a report. The report, so the report will be published, coupled with the fact that we'll also be doing our own study as well. Then we come out to educate the public again with respect to the findings of our study.
Jeremy, should the full investment portfolio be made public in the interest of transparency? I'm asking because while you were talking, I was going through the NASIT Act of 2001 and also asking myself, and I want to ask you, is it time we overhaul the Act and look at it properly? I mean, the things we had going on in 2001 are not the same things we have going on now. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the investments NASIT is doing, it seems to be the old type investment: buy land, Bilos, build plaza, buy ferry, build Sewagam. Those are build. I don't know other investments they are into, probably maybe gold or diamond or silver. I'm not privy to that. But one thing that comes to my mind is that the board under section 16.1 shall soon as practicable after the expiration of financial year, but within 6 months thereafter submit to the minister an annual report dealing with generally with activities and operations of the trust within that financial year. And the minister shall soon as practicable after receiving the annual report cause it to be laid before Parliament. And also the board shall also submit to the minister other reports on its affairs as the minister may in writing request from time to time. Again, Parliament comes in here. So given that the minister has had meetings with the president, but yet still we are yet to see Parliament's intervention, aren't you concerned that Parliament should be the first step? I mean, if the Act clearly provides that the financial report every year should be tabled before Parliament, shouldn't this your concern now be coming from Parliament rather than from CAL?
Well, I think they were before Parliament a couple of weeks back or some time ago with respect to the audit report. They also have a series of issues in the audit report. Mm-hmm. You understand? With respect to some of the issues that we are highlighting.
Why isn't Parliament doing anything as CAL is doing?
Well, I can't say Parliament is not doing anything as we are with respect to the issues with NASI. I really don't. I can't say that now. Mm-hmm. I keep reminding you that we intend doing a study. We're also talking to Parliament. Mm-hmm. We'll be talking to the committee, the Labour Committee at Parliament. We'll be talking to the leadership of Parliament. We'll be talking to a host of people in this country. You understand? Because this is a serious issue. It's a serious concern. So at this stage, we've blown the whistle. Very many thanks to Minister Radu Soare for at least letting us know what's happening and for being so honest based on the commission that is made that the investments of NASIT are really not doing well to the best of his mind. You understand? And that they've had several meetings, which speaks to the fact that the president is aware of the issues at NASIT with respect to the investments. So now that's why we are now calling on the president to act now, to stop the talk, to stop the meetings, but act now. You understand? Mm-hmm. To at least save the benefits of the contributors or the retirees.
Should we have the full investment portfolio be made public so that people can understand?
We need to. NASIT, they work on our behalf. They are a custodian of our money. The contributions that we pay, they manage it.
If done and it is not favorable, wouldn't that scare contributors away from NASIT?
Well, let's wait and see. I don't want to be the gun at this stage. Mm-hmm. Let us wait and see. Quite apart from the fact that we are calling on the president to establish a committee, an independent committee to conduct an audit, we are also planning to do our own study with respect to the things that I stated earlier on. So at the end of that study, we'll make the report public. We now come, the figures, our recommendations, the findings, we'll make that public so that the public will clearly know and come to understand that this should not be Jeremy or Carl versus NASIT. This will not be something that they say, hey, it is APC that have already, or this party that have already engaged Jeremy to come and do. No, that's not why we are doing this. We are doing this for many reasons. Because one, I am equally a contributor to NASIT. You are a contributor to NASIT. The MPs are contributors to NASIT. The ministers as well. I'm sure even the president is a contributor to NASIT. So we want those monies that we pay in the form of contribution to NASIT. Those benefits will be given to those retirees on time, rather than taking more time to have access to the benefits based on the bad investments that are done by NASIT.
Given that the executive is aware of what's going on at NASIT currently, and you're calling on the attention of the president, what immediate actions would you require him to do to restore public confidence in NASIT? Because if a statement like that is coming from a minister he appointed to oversee NASIT, then it's a concern for him. And if you're calling on him to not only look at that statement, but the minister says there have been several meetings with the president, what practical steps now would you require President Bio to take?
To establish an independent committee to conduct an audit with respect to the operations of NASIT. Look at the investments. Where are they doing the very best interest? To try to turn around. The next thing is for the president to turn around, you understand, those investments, because they are not doing well. They are not really like in the interest of Sierra Leoneans.
Would you require heads to roll?
No, that's not my intention. That's left to the president to decide. That's not my intention, and that's not my hope. That's left with the president to decide squarely with him.
If an independent audit finds no wrongdoing in the circumstance, and they come back to tell you this and this is happening due to inflation, this and this is happening due to the global shocks and the like, what then will CAL do?
That's why we're doing ours as well. We're not only going
also, you're not just going to
rely on the audits, the committee. Maybe that will be done or may not be done. You understand? So that's why we'll be doing ours. So that we now come with us to report based on the study that we'll be conducting around NASIT and present our reports to the government of Sierra Leone and to the poor of this country, including NASIT themselves.
Are investments simply yielding lower than expected returns?
That is what we are seeing. If the minister is saying that the investments of NASIT are not doing well, what will come to mind?
For how long has this been the case?
Well, maybe for quite too long, because according to them, there was the GTT report was done. No, so that this government came in 2018. There was a GTT report that, stated that the investments of NASIT were already not doing well. Some were in fact not properly done. So because of that, there was a moratorium. And that moratorium got lifted in 2019, which gave them the scope to maybe review some of those investments or to conduct theirs. So two things. Let's say, for example, when President Bio came in 2018, there was a potential investment that a new airport was going to be constructed at Mamama. But because he saw that, not to in his own mind, not to have been done in the very best interest of the public country, he now said, no, let's have a new airport at Lungi. And we now have one, you understand? And not the Mamama, the one at Mamama. So that's also what we are expecting from the management of NASIT as well. So those investments were badly done. We expected NASIT at that time to at least either to overturn them in the very best interest of this country or the subscribers or contributors of this country. Second, we also want to see their own investments. We want to see the investments of this current administration. What are they
apart from the one from the previous
Apart from the previous ones.
Okay.
We want to see their own investment. We want to see them. So our study will now be speaking to those kinds of questions that I'm asking myself here. You understand? Because we'll be asking NASIT.
That begs the question, if contributors wanted to know today exactly where their pension money has been invested, would they be able to access that information?
It's not only their pension money. Their contributions. You contribute to NASIT. Yes. You contribute to NASIT. Your employer joins you to contribute to NASIT. Contribute 15%. You contribute 5%, the employer 10%. 15%. That's your contribution. Hoping that you get that money when you are retired. You proudly go to NASIT. I don't come for me money where I don't contribute. I can't give me. That's what you go to NASIT for. So that's your contribution. So that one, the NASIT struggles to pay that. Then you come to think about the pension. The pension is just something. Let's at this stage, let's forget about the pension. Come to think about your contribution that you pay to NASIT, which is so serious. That's your life savings that you make. Now you also should hand. When you contribute that, your hope is you get it at the end of the day. When you're retired and you go there, you begin to find difficulties in accessing those ones, it becomes a serious concern.
Are you concerned that the Susu master is mismanaging the money?
Yes, my concern is that the investments are not properly done. They are not really well done. Because I keep reminding you about, for example, the Kimima Hotel is closed. The Regimano Gray Estate. It's not properly functioning. We come to think about the land bank in Bo. The Plaza, the Bo Plaza. These are all some of the things that we need to speak to. The Kimima Hotel. It's closed.
Based on what you know, Jeremy, based on your investigations you've done and your searches, does NASIT still have sufficient liquidity to meet its obligation on time without having to sell assets?
They have promised that they do have. They have promised that.
But you don't have any evidence?
They do have. I don't. Yesterday, the PRO, I was on air with the PRO. He made that emphatically that they do have enough, yes, sufficient to pay. But the question is, people are struggling to have access to their benefits. Yes, the concerns and complaints are all over the place. If you are to open a phone line here now, 80% of the calls that you receive will be in the affirmative, that they are finding it difficult to have access to their benefits. So this should be a serious concern. Remember, sometimes you leave this place, hoping that you go to NASIT and receive your benefits. So if we don't talk about these ones now, then we are not doing justice to Sierra Leoneans. And I keep reminding you that I doff my hat to the minister for coming out clearly based on the commissions that he made, that they have had several meetings.
Shouldn't his ministry be also roped in this?
Yeah, because he plays supervisory role over NASIT.
Well, maybe if you call them, they will now tell you why
and the report is given to him every financial year. So I know he's concerned.
Yes.
But is he just supervising and reporting to the president rather than taking action himself as the minister?
That could be that question.
Or is he shifting the blame?
That question could well be answered by him. That is a question for him. For me, for us at CAL, we have blown the whistle. Part of the reasons for which we exist as an institution is what we are doing. We're not letting the public understand that this is what is happening at NASIT.
All right, continue to those, Jeremy. Let's look at the comments on Facebook so far. Ambassador Paul Picking is asking, what specific irregularities has CAL uncovered regarding recruitment, promotion, and lack of meritocracy within NASIT's internal governance and board oversight? Broad claims of favoritism require concrete examples to push the government to act on institutional capacity reform. Albamiti says this topic could be more educating if you could have invited the mouthpiece of NASIT to give their own part of the story, in my opinion. And Momo Joanna is saying, AYV, it is not about the investment NASIT is signing. The problem is about the prudence of those investments and how people find it difficult to get their benefits.
Ambassador Paulman Pekin is saying, what specific irregularities has CAL Sierra Leone uncovered regarding recruitment, promotions, and the lack of meritocracy within NASIT's internal governance and board oversight? Board claims of favoritism require concrete examples to push the government to act on institutional capacity reform. Well, the same person further says, you tell us Kimbima Hotel is stalled. You tell us Bo Plaza is underperforming. We don't care about your corporate vocabulary. Those buildings were built with the sweat, blood, and tears of Sierra Leonean workers, while big men sit in air-conditioned offices arguing over moratoriums. The common man is starving. Where is our money and who ate it?
And Ambassador Paul Mampiki says, there have been several public allegations regarding the mishandling of funds, specifically pointing to massive housing and hostel investments projects. What concrete evidence can you provide today to prove that contributors' money is safe, and what independent audits have been conducted to refute claims of financial recklessness? How is NASIT addressing past concerns raised by the Audit Service Sierra Leone and the Anti-Corruption Commission regarding compliance and loopholes in contract fund usage? And Mosdi saying the citizens must be assured of an independent forensic audit of all NASIT investment to determine what was lost, who is responsible, how to recover funds. Transparent publication of investment performance quarterly reports should be made public. Professionalization of investment management. NASIT needs qualified investment analysts, risk managers, strong governance structures, accountability for failed projects if mismanagement or corruption is confirmed. Responsible parties must face consequences. And Ambassador Paul Mampiki says thousands of workers find out at retirement that their employers were deducting NASIT money but never paying it to NASIT. They have the power to arrest and prosecute these criminal bosses, but they do they do nothing until the workers are held and helpless. Why are they protecting corrupt businesses instead of protecting the poor citizens who feed them? And Michael Coker says NASIT spent over $10 million on the Sewa Grounds market, which is yet occupied, even though it was commissioned a year ago. What a waste of our pension money.
Yeah, those are some of the...
Yeah, those are some of the comments. And there was a comment here I saw earlier. Bernard Fomolu. He says, a pension scheme which does not make profitable investment, nor can it properly complete any investment project, is a Ponzi scheme. Those are the comments so far.
So yes, and I told you earlier on that the comments will be coming like they've been in the affirmative. Sierra Leoneans are concerned. Some of them, in fact, are saying things that I never thought of earlier on. So which means I'm going to say again that we are going to do our own independent study. Quite apart from the fact that we are calling on the president to establish a committee, a committee that could audit the operations and investments of NASIT, we're now going to do our independent study. You understand? Part of that study we'll be looking at the managerial structure of NASIT, their investments, their long-term investment plan, short-term. We're looking at all of those kinds of things regarding the operations.
Well, one would ask, isn't this what you should have done in the first place before raising the alarm?
When the minister who supervises NASIT is saying that the investments of NASIT are not doing well, don't you know how serious that statement is? And I've had several meetings with the presidency in attendance. Don't you know that's so serious that we need to let the public understand that this is what is going on at NASIT, that people should concern about what's going on at NASIT, that we should call on the president to act now and to stop the talk and to stop the meetings, that this is time for the president to act with respect to what's going on at NASIT. So you really had wanted me to go and do the study first, come again before? No.
Are you not concerned that this might cause panic among contributors?
No, I don't think this should cause panic. We don't need the contributors. We don't need to panic with respect to this one. That's why we are not calling on the president. You understand? He bears the constitutional authority to protect our money at NASIT. That's part of his responsibility. So that's why we are saying we are calling on him on behalf of the contributors and on behalf of beneficiaries and Sierra Leoneans as well, that he should intervene now, that he should act now, that he should stop the meetings now, and he should act now based on the findings of what they have had at NASIT. So let him act now, not tomorrow, not the other day, but now. That's why we are calling on him, respectfully, that he should act now. Because we had several meetings. Look at the investments that they are doing with our contributions.
Should the president fail to act, what options would be available to Carl Sierra Leone?
Well, I have said we are going to do our own study. We'll be doing our study, apart from the one that we hope the president, we establish a committee and the committee will be looking at the audits. We will not be auditing NASIT. We'll just be looking at finding. We'll be doing a kind of study around the operations of NASIT. We will not be conducting audits. But at this stage, we're not saying the president to audit the operations of NASIT. Staff audit, operational audit as well, including the investments they're making. You see, so that's what we are saying. Those investments are not done in secret. The structures are there. People keep sitting there every day. You go to Bo, for example, on the main Tikonko Highway. That's where the Bo Plaza ends. You understand? That place is not a dustbin, part of that plaza. It's not a dustbin. And interestingly, you see the portrait of the president there. You understand? So that's so serious. That is so very serious. You understand? You buy land with our money, you call that the land bank. And those lands are being encroached on by some other persons. I don't know. They construct houses there, they live there. And nothing happens out of that. That's so serious. So that's why we are calling on the presidency. You said you utilize our money to invest our money into Regiment Gray, into Kimbima Hotel. Those projects have been stalled. You think Sierra Leone should be happy with that? The answer is no.
Jeremy, are you concerned? Because most of these things you're raising have been in existence for probably more than 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, even probably before President Bio's administration. Parliament again has oversight responsibility. And year in, year out, NASIT comes out with their yearly report, financial statement that is given to the minister and submitted to Parliament. Why hasn't Parliament done anything? I mean, Parliament can't say for sure they don't know that the Bo Plaza does not have a bus terminal, or that the land banks in Bo are being encroached on, or that the investment at Kimima Hotel or other areas are stalled, or that Sewa Grounds is still closed, why isn't Parliament taking up oversight, to ensure that NASIT does comply with what the provisions that they enacted say?
That's why, Carl, we are doing this. We are not reminding them. We have blown the whistle. It now rests with Parliament, with the executive, to decisively decide on this. You understand? So it's up to Parliament. I'm sure they must be following us. This is a conversation that is on the lips of almost every worker in this country. It's so serious that people are taking it serious. And this one should be done objectively and devoid of parties and politics. This is not about Carl versus NASIT, I keep saying. It should not be about Carl versus NASIT. It should be a concern for every Sierra Leonean worker. You understand? So that's why we are calling on the presidency to at least establish an independent committee to conduct an audit with respect to the investments and operations of NASIT. Beyond that, we also, Carl, we intend doing ours as well. We now go around and come out with the figures.
How soon, as we round off, how soon are we expecting Carl to come out with a comprehensive report?
We are looking forward to seeing the outcome of our press statement until the end of this month. Maybe first week in August, we move on with our study.
Isn't that too much time, considering contributors' money are still there?
No, if this is not something that you could just manage in a day. It's not something that this is not something that you provide remedy for in just 1 week. You understand? It has been there for God knows how long. So the decision now rests with the president to act on this. If he does not act, then we will go out, you understand, at the end of this month, conduct our study and come out with the findings and report.
Why should you wait till the end of the month to come out with the report? How soon would you want the president to act?
Very soon. I want him to act today. I want the president to act now. That's what we are saying. We are calling on President Bio to act now to protect worker savings at NASIT. That's the caption of our press statement.
And what will be your message to contributors?
Contributors, my message to them is clear, that we are doing this for and on behalf of every Sierra Leonean, whether you are directly or indirectly affected by this thing of around NASIT. You understand? And that they should keep paying their contributions to NASIT. For those ones who may have concerns, let them call on our office. We are on 19 Portney Street here in Freetown. Just call on us. We open. I told you earlier on, we'll now be establishing a desk, because I have received endless calls with complaints and concerns coming from the public, so that we'll begin to look at these ones properly.
Okay, thank you very much, Jamie. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for with you today. Now let's move over to entertainment, as Makisa, Kisa, and CEO Coco have been announced as the winners of week 2 of the AYB Hits the Streets dance video of the week challenge. Meanwhile, Sierra Leonean DJ Calax has called for unity and mutual respect within the country's entertainment industry. And AYB's Judge Philip Jambuai has announced the upcoming release of his debut solo album, the Masters album. Let's now join Jani for the full details.
Happy Friday, Sierra Leone. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Entertainment News Update right here on Wake Up Sierra Leone. And I'm your host with the most, Gianni, aka The Big Flexer. And I've got all the latest entertainment stories lined up just for you. And now starting off with our first story, as they say, charity begins at home, and we'll begin one of AYV's most entertaining and popular shows, Hit the Streets. So Makisa, Kisa, and CEO Coco have emerged as the winners of week 2 of the AYV Hit the Streets Dance Video of the Week Challenge. Their winning entries, recorded separately in Freetown and McKinney, showcased remarkable creativity, energy, and talent, earning them top recognition from fans and viewers. The challenge, sponsored by STB and Gateway Music, continues to celebrate and promote talent, creativity, and entertainment across Sierra Leone. Now, let's watch this.
Oh man, say one man, no they full of bucks. Rare boy. Now this one is sound where they bring me joy. Neck cam, don't clean, but we still they enjoy. Rare girl for rare boy. Yagba don, we no get choice. Oh man, say one man, no they full of bucks.
Alright guys, so to be honest, Salon really get talent, and with each passing week, AYV Hit the Streets continues to celebrate young people by giving them a platform to showcase their skills to the world. And if you are there right now and you've got what it takes to be on the dance floor like me, then audition for the AYV Hit the Streets dance battle happening on the 24th of this month, July, at the AYV Auditorium. So you guys know what to do right now. Don't miss your chance to shine. Yeah, man. Now, DJ Kylox has called for unity and mutual respect within Sierra Leone's entertainment industry, encouraging artists, producers, bloggers, and other stakeholders to prioritize collaboration over personal conflicts. He revealed that after sharing his views on a recent debate about originality in music, a producer known as Surprise sent him another song that allegedly contains a similar verse to his song. And Kylox said he intends to review the song carefully, stressing that his goal is not to accuse anyone, but to promote fairness, growth, and professionalism within the industry. Let's watch this.
A couple of days ago, they do a video, the advice between Baby Bernard and SOSO. Then somebody reached out to me, a producer by the name of Surprise. They sent me one song where I listen to the song. Now the same verse we Bernard do na SO in song. Now the same verse he do na that same song way. I'll play the songs and then the next video I will do let you listen now. But me, no they come for castigate anybody. I didn't ask for give advice, so okay we forget transformation at the industry. The problem now so now we the entertainers them, we will not say now we people in the look forward to where they going through some funny things them. Some are for satisfying self, some are for say. If it is about sequence of arrival, then we begin look and say there are people who we don't do in this industry before they come. Why we not go pay respect to them people when they bring come? Every other artist we talk to, every other manager will say there is no respect in this industry. Why we go on for dinner and industry we will not respect ourselves? The small one, no they respect the big one say no they respect the small one. Respect is reciprocal, respect me, I respect you. I want for advice. The advice now is that let's maintain respect for each other. If we maintain respect for each other, it go better for we. That kind of thing where I go see other artists go respond to this man because he talk on one or two things, they go respond. Forbid the order of the day. We need to forget respect, regard, love for each other. No matter how you look at them, if we fail forget respect for with the fall, they go affect we, they go make other people and laugh at we, they go make other people and look really like we're not sober-minded.
Well, this story is far from over, so keep your eyes and ears open. I will be following all the developments and bringing the latest updates as they unfold. I just want to say something. So, for the past, I think 3 to 4 months, a lot of artists are complaining. I remember Baby Bernard had a song, Goal, with SO. Someone complained that's the song. There's another issue too with Baby Bernard and SO again for some performing rights to the song. There's another artist again, Legacy Boy and Sweeter Boy, I guess. And there's another issue again with Cardinero and like so. It's just happening. I just hope it stops because song theft na crime. I don't know if my take it serious, but like stealing someone's song, even a melody. I remember, I think P. Diddy has a case right now. I think till he dies, he's going to pay $2,000 United States to a group called Sting for this everywhere, something, that song they sing for Biggie. So, song theft is really serious. So, let money and small, you get me? But I'm not judging on this case. As Kylox say, we will see. And finally, we started at home and we ended at home. George Philip Jambawai, a journalist with AYV Media Empire Sierra Leone and a musician dedicated to promoting indigenous vibes and authentic African sounds, has announced the upcoming release of his first solo album titled Master's Album. The album is expected to be released soon, but for now, let's enjoy one of his songs and see how AYV will come and get talent. Get me?
deal, I'm my Lubalotuma, Yagasia Bagama, whom I live at my Tatu money, I'm with the Bamuma, Boko Wega, you are, Anyanega, in that Billy Belga, Anyalega, Gogo Chichi Koweka, Bagewa Vega, Jaramakoto Laila Goma, calling Yagwang, Bagama Hinda, never at the
What amazing song from one of our very own. AYV definitely has talent, and judging by what we've heard, I believe the Masters album is going to be something very, very special. And that's all for today's entertainment news updates here on the Wake Up Sierra Leone. As we head into the weekend, remember to stay positive, stay safe, and enjoy every moment. A special thank you to my amazing team behind the scenes, and Yangson, Remy Wilson, ISO2, and Bison, for making today's show very, very possible. I've been your host with the most, Johnny, aka the Big Flexer, bringing you the vibes and the story, and it's now back to you guys in the wonderful studio.
All right, many thanks to Johnny for that entertainment update. You're still watching and listening to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio. Don't forget to send in your comments and ask your questions to our AYV News Facebook page and be part of the conversation. Now, still on entertainment, we've been joined in the studio by Exubi, one of the country's renowned rappers and proudly regarded as one of AYV's own. He also serves as chief judge of the AYV Cypher Uncensored show. Exubi has recently released a new song titled Praise, featuring country boss former housemate Salone Season 3 star. This morning, Exubi is here to share his inspiration behind the track and reflect on his journey in the entertainment industry so far. And also, AYV Hits the Streets will be holding auditions on the 24th of July 2026 to discover talented dancers who will compete for the ultimate grand prize of 50,000 leones. To tell us more about the upcoming auditions and what participants can expect, we have in our studios Rachel, one of the producers of the AYV Hits the Street show. Lady, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Rachel, producer. Exubi.
You already know. What's up?
So Exu, let's start off with the song, this new song called Praise, just released. What message are you trying to send with this song?
Well, praise is about just giving thanks, for all that I've been through, through my career. I mean, from the days of Calbox, like it's been a long time coming. Been through different journeys, highs and lows, trials and tribulations, disappointments. And I'm still here, still relevant, been through all that, I never gave up, So I'm just giving thanks and praise to God, for keeping me alive, keeping me strong, and still relevant and still pursuing my dreams, just giving thanks and praise to the Almighty.
On this track, you featured Country Boss. Is this the first track together with him?
No, definitely not. Country Boss, we did the first track I ever did with Tete while I was with Cat House, Go Kabbalah, which was my smashing hit, at that time. So that was the first track we actually collaborated on. And we have a couple of tracks on release tracks we've actually worked on, but we decided to release this one because we just thought and fit it's the right song at the right moment.
It is safe to say you've been through, the eras of rap music and rap genres or hip hop in Sierra Leone.
Definitely.
Since Calbox, and when you talk of Calbox, you talk of, the old folks. Since the 2010s, when you had Tete, you had Mr. B, you had the hip hop wave. You've been around Cat House Records, RFM, Black Leo, doing those era, Noble Squad, and also the new school. How have you kept up with the different trends? If one listens to your music from the era of Go Kabbalah, the sound is different. If you listen to the new drill style and tempo you have, how have you kept up with the new trends? Many artists struggle to keep up with trends.
Yeah, me personally as an artist, I believe in versatility and longevity. Being an artist, that's what makes you an artist. You should not be stuck in a particular style or particular trend of music. You should be able to be flexible. So with all during these times, I've been just studying the game and see how I can blend my style into these different trends and different times of music. So that has been perfectly working for me because I've not put myself in a box. I always try to see how best I can, find new things and see how best I can tap into a new style of music and see how best I keep myself relevant always.
Another thing again artists struggle with is the emergence of technology. Back then when you had Gokabala, CD plates was the go-to. Buy my CD, get my CD. We now have social media. We have music being on social media or streaming platforms. How have you kept up with the emerging trends and what's the numbers I'm following like on online?
Yeah, it's been great and it's been very helpful. When music has actually gone digital, and in terms of promotion, like for example the TikTok. These are all mediums we're actually using to actually push the song out there. And of course, DistroKid, I've been using DistroKid also to distribute my song on all social media digital platforms. So all my songs, all my albums are out there, like the Spotify, the iTunes and all. So it's been very, very helpful because back then it was a whole lot of problem to put your music out there and for people to actually have access to it. It was only through CSA at that time and a couple of other outlets. But for now, you can just sit in your room, tap into DistroKid, distribute your song worldwide. So it's much easier now. So, and I guess that's an advantage for us as an artist.
You've been through the hottest eras of rap battle and rap beef. You've been a judge yourself.
Yeah.
You come from the street rap.
Definitely.
My question is, we keep hearing this versus this versus this, but never Exubi versus this. Are people afraid of Exubi, or because you are not shy from throwing shots?
Nah.
We saw what you did, with Shadow Boxer, and you had a couple of track, I think, with is it someone from Ghana as well?
Yeah, Lyrical Joe.
Yeah, Lyrical Joe from Ghana.
Yeah.
We've had your records again as well. Why are people afraid to touch Exubi when Exubi sends shots?
Well, I've been having a little bit of altercations here and there, but it has not gotten to the point where we need to, trade blows in terms of music. That's only happened with Shadow Boxer, but he never sent his reply back, It's just a lyrical exercise, just try to be, fighting for supremacy.
You had a song with Shadow, I think a couple of months before that shot, where you Shadow, and August 16.
Okay, that was Play.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had that song.
The relationship was okay at that time.
So what happened?
Well, I think there was a time Shadow released a track called M.I. Was, which he actually threw some shots and also made some praise to certain MCs that he actually...
And leaving certain Sierra Leonean MCs out.
Exactly, and I mean, he actually mentioned it like, I don't know the exact line, but he said something like, man, they waiting now back in home late and just dinner in place now. Something like that. It was disrespectful. So I expect a lot of MCs to actually throw shots towards him, but a lot of them, I don't know if they were scared of him. I don't know, maybe they paid so much amount of respect to him that they couldn't do it. But me, I had a good relationship with him. But this is sports, We can have a good relationship, but when we're in the ring, we are ups, we are opponents. So I had to go at him and let him don't feel as if nobody is untouchable. So I was expecting a reply from him so we can go back and forth, at least for entertainment purpose, but he never came back, and he just showed respect, because he knew what was about to happen, because, real MCs, real recognize real. When you hear my bars, you know what it is, bro.
Another thing again that you've craftily stayed away from is the LAJ and Caudinero beef. I'm asking this because when you were part of Cat House, LAJ was also at Cat House Music as part of the record label and entertainment.
Exactly.
You've had your roots from grammar school. You also have followings at King Tom. You have your roots where Black Leo fans are. How have you stayed outside that beef? You still hold favorable terms with Cow and with the LA. How do you manage that?
Well, I've had a very good relationship with LAJ since the fact that we both came from Cat House, and also some type of relationship with Cow, but really not that tight, But irrespective of that, I've just been professional with my career. What doesn't concern me, I leave it alone. If I'm not implicated in any sort of way, I shouldn't be involved. So that's how I've, kept managing that type of thing. I had a good relationship with LAJ, despite the relationship is not that tight with Cow, but I still maintain the respect, and that's none of my business, because I'm not an RFM artist, I'm not a Black Leo artist. I'm a streetwise Troublemakers artist. So.
Rachel, let me bring you in. So AYV hits the state. It has become one of the biggest dance competitions in Sierra Leone. What makes this year's edition different?
This year edition is going to be different because it is a national battle, wherein will get involved the provinces and those here in Freetown. For the past years, we've been doing only for people here in Freetown. We've not been involving people outside Freetown. So this year we decided to come with a national something for everybody to get involved. That is Makeni, Kenima, Bo, Kono, and all parts of Sierra Leone.
So what's in it for the dancers? Why should they make time on the 24th of July?
Okay, so first of all, for the 24th is just going to be for dancers here in Freetown.
Oh, okay.
So afterwards, we extend it to the provinces. And what's in is just 50,000 leones and a deal with AYV Housemates, which is one of the biggest reality TV show here in Sierra Leone. A deal with them, you dance throughout the Housemates, and I'm sure you'll be well paid. And also, aside that, you'll be traveling to Liberia to and fro, and it will be sponsored by us.
Who are the judges?
Well, we don't want to name names, but we have an international judge, and also we have 4 national judges. So this what exactly makes it very special. It's not only going to be Sierra Leonean judges, we'll be having one from international as well.
So what makes a person qualified to be a participant in this competition?
You just need to get your form and just make sure you have a group. It can be 2, 3 and above, but just come at AYV, get your form, and also just prepare yourself, then come for audition.
Will contestants coming from the provinces have equal opportunities as those you have in Freetown?
Well, yeah, of course.
So are you going to be meeting them in the provinces, or are they expected to travel to Freetown for their auditions?
So we will be going eventually. We'll be going eventually to those places. We'll be taking maybe during the weekends, so we're coming there. We have specific, but we haven't actually scheduled that yet. We want to finish the Sierra Leone, the Freetown audition first for the 24th. Then afterwards, we'll schedule for the provinces.
So what are the qualities the judge is looking for beside just the dance moves?
So dance is creativity.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure that's one of the things we're looking for. Because for the past years, we've been seeing some similar routines, and we'll make it very clear to all dancers that this time around, we don't need something similar. We don't need any TikTok moves. We don't need any season 1 dance steps again. Then also we have a criteria of all dancers should incorporate 80 or 90% of Sierra Leonean songs, because that's one of the things that affected us during the West Coast battle, wherein we have Sierra Leonean dancers that actually did not dance any Sierra Leonean song. But when Liberians came, they thought it fit that, okay, it's about time we show these people what we have, and they actually did. They performed a Sierra Leonean song, which actually make them to actually won that particular competition, because they decided to use Sierra Leonean song against us. So one of, or the most important criteria is all dancers should actually incorporate a Sierra Leonean song, which is 90% Sierra Leonean song, and the 10% you can use Western songs or whatever songs you decide to use.
Okay, so someone might be watching Wake Up Sierra Leone this morning, and they might be interested in participating in this competition, but they don't have a group, or he or she doesn't belong to any group. What can happen in that circumstance? Because we've seen other shows elsewhere where you can come in as a single competitor, but later the judges merge people into groups. Do you have that opening?
No, actually, we haven't actually decided to do that, because it's group. It can either be 2, that's what I mentioned, it can either be 2 and above, not one person, because it's a group thing. It's not a single something. We might consider it later on, but for now, no, there's no provision for that.
How can they get the forms?
You can come to AYV, or you can contact 030-290401. Again, 030-290401, or you can contact us on TikTok at AYV Hit the State, on Facebook at AYV Hit the State. I can also contact AYV News or AYV Entertainment to get your form. But I'm sure for Freetown we've closed, so it's just for people in the provinces. If they want to participate now, they can contact the number, or or they can contact us on Facebook.
Is it free of charge?
Yes, it's absolutely free. And of course, the audition as well is free come the 24th. So you can come with anybody you want to come with on the 24th. It's absolutely free.
Okay, we'll be back with you, but right now let's join our sports reporter. So for the sports update.
Ransford McLean is all set up for us. I mean, I've taken a transfer, you know, over to France. after Brazil were knocked out. Ransford McLean, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Bokai Mata. Thank you very much for having me this morning on sports. Of course, I'll bring you to speed of local what's happening. Well, another thrilling day of football action unfolded at the Putloko Mini Stadium, the northern region of Sierra Leone, the 9th. That's yesterday, as clubs battled for a spot in the Sierra Leone Premier League through the National Division 1 playoff. Kamara Football Club kicked off their campaign with a solid 3-1 win over Bombali Shabara. Waterloo Football Club continued their strong starts, claiming their second straight win by edging AI Kalon from Kono by a goal to 0, bringing their point tally to 6. Marampa Stars of Lunsau bounced back from a narrow 3-2 defeat in their opener against Western United, earning their first win after defeating Prospect FC by 3-1. Meanwhile, former Premier League contenders, that's Khalifa Stars of Magburka, played to a 1-1 draw against Premier Academy, a hard-fought point for both teams. Well, now fixtures coming up. Let's look ahead of other fixtures coming up for today, as Kamara Football Club will battle against Western United, and Prospect FC will brace up against Bombali Shabra, whilst Premier Academy will lock on with Great Skiasis. AI Kalon squares off against Khalifa Stars. And finally, for sports, and in the Sierra Leone's men Premier League, Bo Rangers Football Club, the reigning champions suffered a surprising defeat on the road against relegation threatened. That's Abacha City. That crucial win keeps Abacha City's hopes alive as the season heads into its final week. To secure their survival, Abacha City must win against FC Cologne in their last game and hope that mighty Blackpool, Freetown Slifer, and Diamond Stars stumble in their respective matches. Of course, yes, there was indeed in the World Cup a dramatic match between France, as they've eliminated Morocco by 2-0. Today, we see Spain battle against Belgium, another country in the quarterfinal stage as well. But that's all for sports this morning on Wake Up Sierra Leone. And over to you guys in the main studio.
All right, thank you very much. As for my claim, Ali Leblanc, we represent the French team. Thank you very much this morning. Of course, Rachel and Exubi are still here with us in the studio. But let's take a quick snippet of Exubi's song, Praise, featuring Country Boss. And then when we come back, we go again into the conversation.
You know it's country in this.
All praises to the Most High. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. A true hustler. Yeah, beats wise, yeah. From that bank teller to that hustler na Belgium, the resident na I'm at, and we block na that dead slums. One way or the other, we always suffer forget some. Cash and a jar now with protection. And take me bread and butter, but all the offer na breadcrumbs. Salomon lack love and affection. 90% of the youth get dogs and in section. Some stuck by depression, some stuck na detention. Wahala boku so some stuff I not mention. But I'm no guarantee, so now God I depend on. Who still a fight, I'm na the gutter and trench on. The pre-make shit kick like some bomb by erection. Yeah, still a try for make up for some lost times. 90 minutes, I'm still a wait na the touchline. Facebook who challenges them since I got signed. So not so because I can smile, you go to think that it's all fine.
Long time man living at the jungle. Fight if you survive, but dreams still be enough if fumble. Satisfied with the little drop of head, me never grumble. But I may see a little light at the tunnel, man, I want to. Let Jah be praised, let Jah be praised. With a Jah in my life, trust me, man, every day. Let Jah be praised, let Jah be praised. Before flat to the ground, but Jah never let me down.
Why the rush? One step at a time. Life na hitchhike. The street be don't teach me, so I street wise. Don't see all kind team from the street life, but never lose faith. Now God in what I be grip tight. 10 minutes to 10, the way man not been get nothing. Tell my go to me fambulol and give me a mapping. I'm searching by any possible means if for happen. I bloody for me own, but me you know the fashion. Hustle with me pen, cause I write gaps for living. Nothing good to write home about the life that I'm living. But God come and give me life back the meaning. I the fly, so the haters want for hijack me winning. I start for lie, God the word not the lie. The blessing just the added, the money they multiply. And I really give God the praise every morning by me bedside I kneel down and pray.
Let Jah be praised, let Jah be praised. With a Jah in my life, trust me, man, every day. Let Jah be praised, let Jah be praised. Before flat to the ground, but Jah never let die down. Let Jah be praised, now streets me is but no grace. Man, that's so hard, still I pray through all them days. I know much faith, still I focus on my race. Because God not the guide, if you when life get maze. Me brother not give up tomorrow if you change your name.
Indeed, praise there. Exubi featuring Country Boss, Let Jah Be Praised. Of course, you can stream that song on all streaming platforms as Exubi's present. Exubi, let's go again deep into the song. You know, you are known for talking about issues. You know, if we look back at 2 months ago, you released Concerned Citizen, and you had a featuring on Hala Hala by Don Creek.
Exactly.
You also had the man-to-man challenge. Again, man no respond. but my favorite, of course, is freedom of speech. I've been playing that, for a very long time now.
Yeah, man.
How do you, in an area where we have social media, someone can go into the studio today, by tomorrow, next tomorrow, mix and mastering, the song is out there. You have TikTok videos. How do you come up with these concepts? Asabi Boku rapper, they're afraid to touch these issues. Probably they just want to sing about the girls, the chains and the blings. Yeah. Why do you keep constantly touching social issues as a rapper?
Well, honestly, the main reason I've been doing that is to just maintain the main reason why hip-hop came into existence, which is to speak on behalf of the people, to be the voice of the voiceless. Because at one point in time, if I can take you back to history, about America, wherein, they were suppressing the black people, so they had to use hip hop as a medium to express themselves. So it has always been like that. So it's always about the culture to speak on behalf of the people. That's the essence of hip hop music. So all these other things are just extras, but the main essence of hip hop music is putting the message out there and speaking on behalf of the people. So I've been actually doing that since This Is Sierra Leone. If I can take you back to This Is Sierra Leone 2018, which I got the US Billboard article recognition, and I got the BBC interview and also BBC documentary which I was featured on, just based on that track. So something actually just, led me towards that direction, like, you should keep doing this type of tracks. These are the type of tracks that gives you that makes people actually tap into your work, because I saw the numbers I did with This Is Sierra Leone. It was amazing, up to like 700,000 views, which were very organic, no boost, no nothing, so that actually prompted me to keep pushing towards that direction, even if I'm doing any other type of music. But once in a while I should be tapping in on those type of music. So since then I did This Is Sierra Leone, and a couple of months after I did another song called Headlines, which is touching on issues. And also I did one Saloon, which was during the election time, just to tell Sierra Leoneans this is our country, so we should put Sierra Leone first, something like that. And after that I did freedom of speech, based on the chaos that was happening at that time in the country. And so it's been like that. So lately I just did Concerned Citizen. It's the same thing again, just me putting messages out there, talking on behalf of my people without creating any incitement message or attacking any personality, It's just been the fact I'm stating that. So that's it, bro.
XB, is music quite a lucrative career in Sierra Leone here? We've seen other artists who started here in Sierra Leone and had to move to other countries because they wanted a bigger audience and the like. Is it quite a lucrative career in Sierra Leone?
It's tough, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it can be lucrative if you have the mechanism, like the management behind you, then you can actually see, you know, certain things happening in your career. But without that, like struggling on your own, even if you have a management, if you don't have that type of management that actually knows how to push you in which direction they need to push you, it can be really tough. But we're fighting it. Some artists are successful, some are not, and some are still trying to be. So we're just in between.
What do you think are some of the biggest impediments to success for our local artists in Sierra Leone?
There's a lot, you know, like just like I was mentioning, management. You can have a management, but you need to have that type of management and know how to do the business, because music is not just about recording the song in the studio, it's about the business part of it too. And also the system is not set, you know, like for example, if you go to these other countries, these African countries like Ghana, which I've already been to, I've experienced a little bit about their musical system and how things work there. It's quite different from how Sierra Leone works. So these are some of the things that are slowing artists down, especially the up-and-coming artists or the new face of Sierra Leone, because they are doing tremendously well when it comes to the music itself. But like putting the music out there, like, you know, monetizing the music and, you know, getting funds off this music is the very hard parts, you know, to make it happen that way. So we just try and see how best. Everybody's just trying their own way. We don't have a system in Sierra Leone which we actually walk with one direction, or even though we have an entertainment ambassador and things like that, but the system has not been actually.
And quite recently, I've noticed a trend. I've noticed that the First Lady has been truly instrumental when it comes to entertainment and particularly music. If you had the air of the First Lady for a moment, what would you say to her? What would you advise that she can do that will transform music in itself and make it not just something one has a passion for, but something that can put food on the table and money in your pocket and give you a good life like every other profession?
Yeah.
So what would you say to her if you had her ears?
If I had that opportunity with the First Lady, first of all, I appreciate her because she has, just like you said, she has been playing her part, like using Sierra Leonean music, promoting it and all things like that. But if I had the opportunity to talk to her, my own opinion will be like create an atmosphere wherein it doesn't have to be politically linked, you know, for any artist to succeed or to have a connection with certain, for example, now if there's an opportunity, it doesn't have to be any, like you have to rely on any political
connection.
Exactly, it has to be like direct from what the person has been doing or the effort the person has been putting out there, you know, and also to create mediums wherein, you know, we'll be able to make money off our music, you know, monetizations, the social media, these digital platforms and these social media platforms too, because that's where we're lacking. We're lacking greatly on those areas, because these are mediums where we should be able to get money from without even doing a show. You know, just by posting our songs and promoting our songs, you make money off that, but we are very limited and we are ineligible to even make that work. So if she can actually make that work, it will help a lot of entertainers, not just musicians, but comedians, DJs. As long as you have a social media platform, you can make money off it, as long as you're working towards that. So there's a lot to be fixed, but I believe when like these things that I've stated, if they can be fixed, it will help a whole lot of entertainers in Sierra Leone.
What advice do you have for young musicians, well, should I say upcoming artists?
Underground.
Underground artists.
No.
Probably,
I don't like that word.
Okay.
Underground like us.
Upcoming artists who might think that talent alone guarantees success. What would you say to them?
Well, just keep trying, you know, don't be discouraged, because there are a lot of disappointing things happening in Sierra Leone music. You know, keep fighting, believe in yourself, have the passion, pray always, and see what God can do for you. Like, you know, just focus on your career, you know, be passionate about it. Because one thing, passion is one thing that has kept me, you know, doing this thing up to now, because I've had a lot of discouraging times, but the passion is the fuel that keeps me pushing. So you have to be very passionate about what you're doing, irrespective of the situation or the country we find ourselves, but that has no limits to you. So.
What's the next big thing for XUB?
Wow, there's a whole lot in the pipeline, there's a whole lot, because I've signed a 5-year deal with Splitwise Entertainment, so certain things right now are not based on my decisions, but I've worked a lot. There's a lot of work waiting to be released, so we're just planning things out, so let the fans expect greatness. And I've never in my life let my fans down, they can testify to that.
Never.
And as we close, you're also part of the AYV Cypher Uncensored as the chief judge.
Yes.
How are you handling that? And also, quickly to speak up, you've worked with, some of the biggest hip-hop producers in Sierra Leone, from Tete, now I think it's Freddie T-Bass. How is it like production-wise? You've also worked with Don Creek. How is it like production-wise? Are we improving?
Definitely we're improving. And kudos to the producers and engineers in Sierra Leone. They've been really improving in their sound, because it's not just about going to the studio and record your vocals. It's about the final output, how they can actually mix it, how the sounds they're using has to be authentic and things like that. And these guys have been actually purchasing original toolkits and things that they can actually use to make the production better. So kudos to Don Creek, kudos to Freddie T-Bass, kudos to Bash Beat, kudos to Ezekiel, and all the others that have been pushing the career and things like that.
The AYV Cypher Uncensored, are you still going to be the judge?
Definitely, and also that also left with the management, because this is a new season and we have to sign a new contract and make things happen. But definitely, we're looking forward towards that, and of course the country white tour is coming very soon, and rappers best be ready. Bo, Kenema, McKinney, Connor, we're coming there, so you best be ready.
Alright, Richard, the audition form is free, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that create, so many dancers to come for the audition?
So, even if it's 1,000 dancers, we can accommodate them.
Okay. And when and where will the audition hold? And what are you expecting from participants?
So the audition is on the 24th of July 2026, and it's here at AYV. It's exactly 4 p.m. and we expect all dancers to come prepared, to come ready, like, okay, we are here to grab that 50,000 leons, and also the deal with AYV housemate. And they should also bring supporters. You should not come only as a team, you should bring in your supporters. We all actually can see what's in there happen for housemates. So we need people to come support you, to show that, okay, you're willing and you're ready for winning this.
I might be participating in, because my daughter is an excellent dancer, and she does not have a group, so I might just, be the other member of the group.
XUB, as we round off, you can't leave us without the 16 bars, XUB is in the studio.
Let me just give them the praise, I'm still on praise promotion, From that bank teller to that hustler na Belgium, the resident na IMAT and we block na the dead slums. One way or the other, we always suffer forget some cash and a jar na me protection and take me bread and butter, but all the offer na breadcrumbs. Saloma lack love and affection. 90% of the youth get drugs na the section. Some stuck panipulation, some stuck na detention. Wahala bokuso, some stuff are not mentioned. Motama no guarantee, so na God that depend on. Who still a fighter and the gutter entrenched on the premix shit kick like some bomber erection. I still let's check.
Thank you very much, XUB, for joining us.
Then take bread and butter and all and you in a breadcrumbs.
Exactly.
That's my favorite.
Thank you very much, XUB.
That should be a caption.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. I'm afraid this is all we have time for this morning here on Wake Up Sierra Leone. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We say many thanks to our sponsor, Local Commercial Bank, for their support to the program and all the advertisers and our audience. We appreciate your time this morning. Until we meet again next week, I am Bokari Matia.
And I am Alimat Judge. Please stay tuned to AYV throughout the day, as we have other exciting programs coming up. Till we meet again tomorrow. Today's Friday, right? Yeah. To meet again next week. Do take care of yourself and remember to always show kindness. Have a pleasant day.
Sierra Leone, are you ready? AY AYV Media Empire brings to you AYV Hit the Street National Dance Tournament.
I don't feel
16 teams, 1 crown. Who will be the king of the streets in this grand showdown? Watch this.
I say the police. Show that. It's a woman to my number. And I remember with email. Me petrol mutanka. Me know me per detail.
But this thing I don't turn a lot. They don't feel they want try me and sweat. They don't feel high me and sweat. I don't come this far kilometer.
You bet, eh? 50,000 millions and a deal with Housemate Salon Season 5 is up for grabs. So Bo, Kenema, Makeni, Cambia, Kono, Potloko, we are coming to your city. So get your dancers ready. The auditions are underway. Do you know a dance team? Are you part of a dance team? Get yourself an audition form at AYV Media Empire for free.
AYV, hit the streets, make the ground shake beneath your feet. AYV, hit the streets.
We are coming to your city.